Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Bill. Welcome to the channel. And today I'm going to go over some of the things you need to have with your CNC, some of the things that you need to have with your laser, some kind of must needed tools, must needed things that you should have. We all know my CNC is a 4040 Reno from Jimitsu. I use a Bauer hand router, palm router, whatever you want to call it. And you know, I have a 20 watt. It's a Burnlab, but it's atom stack, made from atom stack. I'm 100%, 90% sure. And I also have a 10 watt Ortur that I bought a while ago. I'm going to go over some of the things that I have, or when I got them, and how they've been holding up and doing, and go over some of the things, you know, like with my. This is a small. I know I was just first one I tried. I want to know how it was going to come out, but it's a 3D look, and that was made with the. Get a little bit closer. That was made with the Reno. You can see the waves, the stars, how small, the eagle, how the detail is in that. You can see the detail that it does do. This is the one I'm working on now to sign what I'm doing now. That's my clock. So you see what it can do with that. Like I said before, I don't make myself a whole lot of stuff, so it's not like I have a whole lot of things sitting here. I made this a couple years ago, or year ago, or whatever, year and a half ago, whatever it was. But I made that with this one also. So that was made. You can see it's got all the deep engraves in it, and then it was all hand painted. So that was made. Actually, that was made with the laser, not the CNC. So with that all being said, I've made tons and tons and tons of projects, tons of things I've sold, countless coasters with the laser machine, countless signs with the laser machine. I got out of the CNC for a while. I started out with a 3018, a nightmare. Didn't want to get back into it because I couldn't stand the machine. I bought it off Amazon. It was like 150 bucks, and you know, you get what you pay for. It was, I think it actually was, what is the size? It was probably, looking at the other 3018s, it was like a 12-inch wide by 7-inch high, or deep sign that you can do. I wanted much bigger. As you can see, I wanted much bigger signs to be able to do. So, got rid of the CNC because it didn't work for me. It was more maintenance, more work. It would take 3-4 pieces of wood. It would mess up on it, plane the wood back down, sand it, come back down, do it again. It would take 2-3 times till I finally got it to go. Then I jumped into the laser, and was on a laser for a long time, loving it, doing all kinds of stuff with it. And then I was like, you know, you really should have both, a CNC and a laser. So I purchased the Jimitsu 4040 Reno, and I know there's a few channels out there that kind of, you know, dump on it a little bit, but to me it's does everything I want it to do, and does it all extremely well. I'll go over some of the reasons why I chose the one I chose, and kind of start with that. But that's some of the projects that I've done. All my stuff have all been sold. You saw some of my videos. You were able to see what I did with them, so you can see that, and they were all handed and delivered and sold. So it worked out real nice with it. But let's go over now with some of the things that you need. Well, first we'll go over, this is what it came with, a 60 watt little spindle. Instantly I got rid of that, bought the Bauer router. Had to buy the case to hold it, and the dust extractor for it. Had to buy that separately for it, but it was just, to me, it was well worth the extra. I think I paid like $35 for it, so it was definitely worth it. And I'm going to show you some of the prices. Everything I bought is always on Amazon, and you'll be able to see what I paid for the dust extractor, my bits and calipers and other things that I have. But that's what I started out with. That's what came with it, was the 60 watt. I messed with it for a day or so, until I went out to Harbor Freight, bought this one, came back, ordered the parts for it, the housing casing for it, and the dust extractor. When that came, it was done. I keep it now for a backup in case my Bauer does go. I do have brushes for it. You know, the Bauer did come up with an extra brush kit, so I do have that if it does go. But if that goes and I'm in the middle of doing something, I can always swap that, put that back on, I'm good to go. That's the dust extractor that I did buy for it. And I'll go over some of the dimensions and things like that here in a minute. But that's my machine. It is belt driven. Some people, they don't like the belt driven. I don't mind the belt driven. It's fine. I know it has its limitations, but it performs very well. And I'm going to go over the other machine that it would be a step up from this. And it would be your call whether it's something you think that you would want to spend the extra money in or not. And I'm going to show you my opinions on that as well too. Because I can actually make this from a 15 3/4 inch by 15, almost 16 by 16. I can make it into an 800 by 400 millimeter machine. Relatively with like $200 to be able to get the rails for this way and $200 to get the rails for that way. And you can make it into a much, much bigger machine just like I have with my lasers. And that is something that I am planning on doing. So let's go ahead and look at some of the tools that you need to have when you are doing these things. The first thing you have to have is a decent caliber set. You have to have that. You have to know what your wood is. You have to know all those things that a caliber is going to give you. The thickness of the wood and how far you're going down, how far you want to go down. So you need to have yourself a decent caliber. I don't say go out and buy a $60 caliber. I think I paid $30 for that one, and it works absolutely perfect. So that's fine for me. You can even go a little bit cheaper. You want the plastic ones, that's fine. I wanted the all metal one because I do drop them and I'm kind of rough on them. So that's the one I went, and I'm going to show you on the Amazon. Here's all the stuff that I have here. Other things you're going to have are hold downs. These are the ones I 3D printed myself. They work really well. I've had a couple different styles that I've done. This one here, I 3D printed. And you can see what I like about these is, look at that right there. Look, it's missing about half of it. Because I messed up, bit came across and took most of it off. But I can constantly keep making my own, so that's perfect. You get the metal ones, that bit hits that bit's shot, it's done. Possibly even your router's done. So you want to make sure that you have something that, whether you use the tape and glue method, or if you screw it down. Most of the time I screw mine down. I just make sure my board is bigger so I can screw it down. And if I have to use the clamps, then I use my own that I made up. Alright, some other things you have to have. You have to keep yourself all your little spare tools, your little spare parts. I keep them all in this box right here. This is what I use. I'm a satellite installer, internet satellite installer, so I get this stuff here, and whatever I have left out of it, I take it back as dielectric grease. And I help put it on the rails and the lead screws and things like that to help keep things running smooth. But you can always search and see what kind you need to have. That works really well for me. What else you need to have? If you're using a 1/4 inch router, which this is, and you want to run 1/8 inch bits, you have to have this pack right here. And that's an 1/8 inch, let me see what they call that is, a collet reducer is what that is. So you can put that in your 1/4 inch collet, and as you can see, that's the reducer, and that's my bit. So you can put your bit inside it. Try to do this blind, and then you put that inside your collet for your 1/4 inch collet. And as you can see, it comes in perfect. It holds it tight and does what it needs to do, and then you can put it up inside it, and you're good to go. So you need to have some of those because you are going to use some 1/8 inch bits along with the 1/4 inch bits. So you need to have those. Let's go, and of course you got to have your wrenches. It all comes with wrenches because these are eccentric nuts, so you got to make sure that you are messing with the belt because it is belt driven. You want to make sure that you do have your eccentric nuts the way they need to be. Alright, so that's that. Let's go over, here's another one you got to have. You need to make sure you always keep all yours. This one here is a ball. It's a ball hex one, so it does have the ball end on the end. And you need that for all your different sizes of your screws that are in on the machine. So that's kind of it for those. Now, we went over the collet reducer. we went over the collets and we went over all that good stuff. Now, these are some of the bits I have. These are V-bits, and these are 90-degree V-bits. As you can see, I have a smaller one that is 90-degree V-bit, and then I have the 1/4 inch, the bigger one. And I also have a 60-degree V-bit, and you can tell the difference of them. The 60-degree is more like this. The 90-degree is more like this. So you can tell the difference of them. The 60-degree would be like this, 90-degree would come off like that. So that's the difference of those. But that's my 60-degree V-bit, and of course that's my 90-degree V-bit. You also have, that comes with the machine, I don't know why they even waste their time with it, but if I can get them out, these little things are real sharp. They have a little rubber casing on them, and you have a 30-degree V-bit. And 30 degrees even more up and down than what the 60 was here. 30 would be more up and down. So you do have that as well too. Most machines come with that. That's free when they give them to you. They're free for a reason. I don't use them, but I do have them. Let's see what else we have. We have the ball nose bits. The ball nose is what I used for my 3D sign. I used a ball nose for that. And I have a 1/4 inch shank and a 1/4 inch ball nose. You can see it's got a nice little radius to it. And I also have, I purchased both of these. I'm going to show you in a minute those. I also have the 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch shank, but an 1/8 inch end. So I have that as well. And I also have my bowl bits. I have some videos with some of this stuff, and there's your bowl bit. So you just need to go back, if you haven't seen it, just go back and look at that. That's your bowl bit. Alright, that's a 1/4 inch shank. Those are all 1/4 inch shanks, so I do not need to use that the collar reducer. But when I'm using like these are 1/8 inch bits. This is a 0.4 millimeter bit. I showed you on my last video how small that is. That's an 1/8 inch bit, so you do have to use that reducer to be able to use those. I have those bits. I have titanium coated bits here. And they're not going in, so we're just going to leave them like that. And it goes from 0.8 millimeter up to 3 millimeters, what they go up to. And they drop half of them, but they're all right there. Alright, I'll put them away here in a minute. So I have those as well too. And then I have the blue nano ones. They're the same thing. They go from 0.8 up to 3. So I have those as well too. These are also 1/8 inch, so you have to use that reducer for any of these. But that's what's nice by having the reducer, is you can actually use the 1/4 inch or the 1/8 inch bits. That's what I do like. So that's kind of it for my bits. I mean, I have I have end mills here. Well, those are ball nose. They were 3.75. I bought a pack of those off Amazon. These are flat nose bits. They're 3.175 flat nose bits. So I have a pile of those, and I have tons and tons of these off of Amazon. I get them, all the time. As hard as I am with it, and I buy the ones off Amazon. They're cheap. I use it. I throw it away. I'm not spending. Like, I know IDC has some really, really good bits. There's some other companies out there that have really, really good bits. They hold up real well. They're real sharp. They last well. But I don't use those. I can't afford them. I use what I can afford and use it. When it starts getting dull, throw it away. Get the next one. So that's what I use. Alright. Let's put all these away over here. Oh, and another bit here. That is my 1.5 inch surfacing bit, flattening bit. I'll surface my wood with that, my spoil board, whatever. So I do have that. I got that on Amazon. You're going to see these prices I have too here in a second. And that's kind of it for that. So I'm going to put this back in here, and I'm going to put that back up in there just for now. Alright, so that's up in there. Of course, you got your wrench to be able to tighten it. Alright, so that's my machine. Jimitsu, you saw a couple projects I've done with it. You've seen the machine work a little bit. I love it. It does real well for me. Let's jump into light burn. Not in light burn. I'm so used to light burn, it's always on my brain. We're going to jump into the internet, and we're going to look at Amazon. And I have all these across here ready to go. That's what I paid for my Reno machine, was this right here. It was roughly right around there. That's what I paid for that spoil board bit I was showing you. That's the 0.4 bits. That's what I paid for those. You got quite a few of them. So, you know, I broke two of them messing with it, but that's what that was. I also have the 1/4 inch downcut spiral round router bit. I have this one here. It's time for a new one because it's starting to smoke every time it does stuff. And let's go ahead and why is it stuck on that? Alright, so let's go over here to the next one. Like I said, that's what I paid for it. That's what I paid for the dust extractor for it, the dust shield. And that's what I had to pay for the bigger, to be able to put my router in that. It's a 65 millimeter diameter. And that's what I had to pay for that. That was one I bought for the small one. Then I got rid of it. As soon as I bought it, got rid of it like a day or two later, whatever it was. I only used it for a short little time. I did purchase that on the 24th. But I bought my machine April 14th, 2024 is when I got my machine. And when I got it, when I got the new router put on it, I was messing with it, and these couple wires here touched, and it fried it out. So I was without a machine now after just a few days of messing with it. And what I did was I got a hold of SaneSmart and let them know what had happened. My board over here, on this side over here, burnt out because these two wires right here, that's what went in the top of the spindle to turn it on and off. So those two wires touched, arced, sparked it, and blew this out. So I was without a machine for a little bit, contacted them, and they went ahead and they got me a new board sent to me, and I still had issues with it. So I called Amazon because it wasn't too long after I've had it that this happened. So I called Amazon, and they actually went ahead and replaced the whole machine and sent me a whole brand new machine in the mail. Had to ship this one back. In the midst, I was able to keep a lot of my stepper motors, or not stepper motors, but my Homan switches and things like that. I was able to keep all that extra stuff. They didn't want none of that back. All they wanted was just a machine back. So I was able to keep all that. Worked out perfect for me. So I paid the $449. So with that being said, they were very good about answering me. It took me time because it was over in Japan, so it did take time. I'd email them. Next day they would email me back. I'd take the pictures they wanted, email them again. Next day they would email me back. So it did take a little process of doing it, but they was always right there doing it, and they was willing to work with me and help me get this fixed. So it was perfect. And SaneSmart to me is real decent company. Amazon, I ended up replacing the whole machine with Amazon, but SaneSmart itself was willing to. So I know if I have an issue today, I've had it for a year and a half, I know today I can call them up or email them and they'll work with me. I did have to buy another one of these here. This is, you on the right camera? Yes. This is the Z Probe. I just broke mine yesterday, so I had to order another one of these. That'll be here tomorrow. And that Z Pro, it's cheap, but it works really well. So that's it for those. Over here, this is the other choice that you would have that's almost kind of comparable to it. But if you look at the price, $609 compared to $400. This does not have the belts. This has actually rails, but everything else is exactly the same. It only has just 2 of these stepper motors, and I believe they're the same size stepper motors. Mine also has the screw on top where you can drop it up and down, and it looks like it also comes with the same router that was with the cheaper one. So you would definitely upgrade that. So you're looking at another upgrade for that. Now, that is $609 for that. Quite a little. And I'm not saying that these rails aren't better than the belt driven, but for me, I'm fine with the belt driven. I know I got to keep them what they are. I need to keep them working, keep them tight, keep the tension on them right. So that's fine. You know, I watch a lot of these channels out there. They all started out just like me, small, tiny, just out there throwing some content out, using what machine they had, what the one they were able to get. And they get on there for a little bit, they start getting subscribers, they start growing their channel, they start getting bigger. Next thing you know, they got companies reaching out to them, hey, yeah, we'll send you this, do a review, we'll send you this machine. So they keep getting better and better and better machines. And next thing you know, they're going from something like this to a much bigger, more money machine. Not because that's what they would have bought, because that was given to them. So let's be real, that's what they do. I'm still at the small potato side, so what I have is what I had to buy. And the way I was able to, work the machines and do things with the machines is what I had to learn to be able to do that with these smaller machines. So nothing against them getting these other machines. I would love to get that. But they're all machines that are given to them. They're all free machines. Yes, they have to work. They have to put a video out. They have to talk about the machine and, let you know. And some of these guys are real good. Clack Shack, real good about giving you reviews on his machines. Venatori, real good about giving you reviews on the machines. Some of them out there, oh, look what this does and da-da-da-da. Okay, yeah, that's great. But they're kind of paid to do that. So, but the Clack Shack, Venatori, they give you a good, honest review with it. Just like I'm giving you with the ones I have. So, you got to be careful watching some people. But this is the other one you could get, $600, and it's basically what you have here, except for it's got rails instead of the belt driven. So I'm fine with the belt driven. It works fine. I mean, it's not an issue. So, and you come down here, you can see all the other different prices of it. I started out with a 3018, and we'll get to that here in a second. We'll get to that probably, yeah, let's go ahead and get into that right now. Here's a 3018, and look at the prices of 3018s. You can see they go across, they go up. This is kind of like the one I started out with. Never again. Let me see, you're looking at me, not the camera, so let's go ahead and swap. All right, these are the 3018s. We'll start over again. You can see they go up in price, $252, $300, $145, $400. That's a 500 watt spindle compared to like a 60 watt or so. 500 watt is okay. I had one; it worked pretty well. But the Bauer palm router does way better. And like I said, this looks like exactly like the machine I had. It was hard. It was a nightmare. That's why I gave it up and went into the lasers. So you can see the different prices of them. Me, personally, if you're starting out trying to see if you want to get into this kind of stuff, I don't know. I would not start out with a 3018. It's so small. It's 12 inches by 7 inches. You can only do something not much bigger than this right here. That's about as big as what you're going to be able to do. Maybe a little bit, whatever, but it's similar to that size right there. You can see on this, I got way more room to work on this, and I'm about to add the rails to this to make this bigger, so it's going to be awesome. But you do 3018, that's about what you have. And that's okay if you're trying to do a few little things. And you look at the price of a 3018, there's $400 for a 500 watt. I showed you mine, which was $449. So for like a little over $100 more, you get a bigger machine, a better machine, one that's going to be able to, you can grow a little bit more into it. And then if you want to, you can get the rails to make it longer and wider. So you can do that with this. 3018s, you're kind of stuck with what you have. It's what it is. The bed kind of moves around, and then the top part, stays, consistent, and the bottom bed is what moves around. So you can't really do but what it can do. So I just don't think I would jump into a 3018. If I was to start over, $150 I paid, if I would have saved that and doubled it, and then a little bit more on top of that, I would have been able to start out with a machine that I could have grew into a lot more. So 3018s, maybe other place out there, but just not for me. So let's jump back over here and go back here to 3018s. So as you see, you can get your different 3018s. I would not start. There's a 3018. Look how small that little thing is. I just wouldn't do it. That's, like I said, looks almost exactly like the one I started with, and it was thrown away. I mean, I tried to keep some of the little pieces of it. None of it would work with anything else, so it was garbage, discarded, and thrown away. But that's what I started out with, and now I have what I have now, so much, much better. Alright, so kind of being said with that, you can jump up into some serious money with these the CNC machines, and that's fine if that's something that you choose to do. But for me, being a small income person, this works real fine for me. I'm going to show you one thing that I don't like about this machine that I wish they would have done differently. And on the bottom of this, you see it looks real rigid, and it's real decent. I mean, I can move it, but it's not moving a whole lot. I can go this way a little bit, but you don't really notice that when you're working the machine. This flex you would notice, and there's not much flex to it. Now look at this bed. That's pretty solid. I'm pushing down, it's not moving. Why is that? Because underneath, I had to put 2 pieces of wood. I'm going to take these pieces of wood away, and the wood is about the same thickness of what it would be to come up underneath that. Now watch. Look at that flex and play that you do get. What am I on? The wrenches. Look at that flex and play now. That is ridiculous. They have no support bars going across the middle to hold it, to help it. That is a serious issue that they overlooked when they were putting this machine out. It's not only this machine. I also believe it's the next machine up I showed you that was $600. That also has the same, looks to be exactly the same. Nothing. So when you're doing your work and your bit comes down, it will push that down. So I just went ahead and put 2 pieces of wood under right in the middle, and I got the thickness that I needed for it, and it's right across this. And as you can see, no matter where I push, except for the edges, that is pretty solid. That has very little movement to it now. So it's going to be a lot more accurate when it's working. It would be nice if they had these rails going across the sides and one across the middle. That would really sturdy that up, so when your bit goes down, it don't push down and make this a deeper cut than what it will make it over here. So they really dropped the ball with that. I wish they would have thought that in their plans. But like I said, the other machine for $600 or $610, whatever it was, looks to be exactly the same. Now it don't have it don't have the belt. It has, rails that it rides along. Okay, I'm fine with the belts. It's got to keep in tension, but that's it. So That would be my one and only really thing that I don't like that they did. I don't like that they didn't have that extra secureness on the bed. I really wish they would have had that. Other than that, the machine performs well. I've done catch-all trays, I've done clocks, I've done charcuterie boards, I've done grill boards, I've done cutting boards. I've done all kinds of stuff on it, so it holds up. It's been working now for over a year and a half, and this router has been a year and a half also. So everything I have here is except for, remember when I burnt out the board, I had to get a new one, which wasn't too long after I've had it. So, but that's what I wish they would have had. The only thing different, tech support was perfect. Even today, if I needed something today, I know I would be able to get them on the phone. It would be a day later, but I would get them on the phone, and it would be another day till they would get back, not on the phone, on the email. It would be another day. It would be a day back and forth emailing, and eventually you would get your part. So that's why you keep your extra. And I kept all my extra homing switches. I kept all my extra everything. But I know that they would work for you. They did work for me. So shout out to Saint Smart, real good company as far as that. All right, so I think that's kind of it for that. I don't think there was too much more to go over. Like I said, the Z probes are real cheap, so I did just have to buy another one, and I had the original one. Then I broke that. All my fault, all stupid stuff. Then I had the one that came with the new machine. Broke that. Just 2 days ago, yesterday. So now I just had to order another one. But as you can see, that's the cost I had going into it. And if you go into Saint Smart and you go to Reno 4040, then you will see the rails, what they are. It's about $100 for the rails here. They go long ways, and it's about $100 for the rails that go back. So you're looking at about a $200 to $220 to be able to make this from a almost 1616 by 31 point something by almost 22 deep. So you're looking at almost 31 inches wide by like 24 inches deep. So you look, that's a nice size machine, and that's all for about $500. Now I know the other one, the 4040 Pro, that was the $600 one. That also comes with the same conversion kit, but you're starting out at $600, and now you're gonna jump up another $200. You're at $800. Where this is $400, $450. I'm at $650, so I'm still cheaper, a couple $100 cheaper than what that was. And I would still have to also replace the router. That would also have to be replaced, which means I would have to buy the router spindle holder and the router dust shield. You'd have to buy all that too. So it's not like you had to buy that here, that one you didn't. You still have to buy the same for that one there, but you'd still be under $200, maybe closer to $250 cheaper than what you would have been the other route. And I know Clack Shack had that other one, and he loved it. He said it was strong. Buddy, this works fine. It does everything I need. I mean, look, you can't get any better than that. So, that's my CNC. That's the bits. That's the tools you need. My dust extractor, I showed you the when. I have a video on that. You do need to have a dust extractor. It is crazy dust. But now we're going to jump into the Burnlab, the Atom Stack. So, and you know, my opinion is you need both a laser and a CNC. So you can go and you can spend crazy money on a CNC, get the real big fancy ones, or you can get the one like I got. It works fine. It does what you need it to do, and you can do some stuff. Get the extension kits on it. Awesome. And then you also need a laser machine. You want to be able to do some pocketing with the CNC, and then you want to be able to go and you want to put some nice detail on the bottom of that catch-all tray. You want to use a laser to have it engrave an image on that. So you want to have that stuff. All right, so let's go over here to the CNC. Originally, when I bought my original machine, you're on the right camera. Yes, you are. This is the one I bought, which was right here. I think this is the same exact machine, except for this has a long focus, and this had the short focus. But it's about the same exact price for it. So right now you can get the Ortur 10 watt, or is this a 5 watt? This might have been a 5. Yeah, this is a 5 watt. The Ortur 5 watt for about $199 is what it looks like. So, but the Ortur, I still use it all the time. I have the 10 watt and a 20 watt, so it works real fine. My 20 watts the Burnlab Atom Stack, and my 10 watt is the Ortur, so I use both machines quite a bit. I did purchase a honeycomb for it. Don't remember what the price was. It's not showing me. And I got that. You can see how long I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a couple years now. September 8th, 2022, I bought the honeycomb, and August 25th, I bought the machine. I guess I probably bought both of these the same time, and that's just maybe when they were shipped. I'm not sure, but that's when I bought those. No, I got the machine in August, and September I got the honeycomb. Realized I needed honeycomb. I was new. I didn't know anything about this stuff, so I was total cherry. Not a clue how to use them. I had the 3018, so I had a little bit of knowledge with that, very little. And then I jumped up into lasers, not a clue. Watched a couple videos and went to town. Bought the Ortur, and then I bought in January my 5 watt. I used for a while. I didn't, like I said, I was cherry. I had no idea what I was doing. So I bought the 5 watt, not a clue, had no idea what I was doing, messing with the machine, and not too long after that I noticed that it was just not cutting or not engraving, not doing anything. Started trying to find out why is it doing this, because there was nowhere out there for me to find about it. And then I did find somebody, I don't know, maybe Louisiana hobby guy, whatever, but something about a lens. My lens might have been cracked. I'm like, what the hell's a lens? I had no idea. Found out, looked in the bottom, lens was cracked. Did not know how to take that lens out. Didn't know that you could replace those. I actually thought I dropped it when I was taking it, because I found out you had to clean them. So I was taking it, and I dropped it 4 or 5 inches down, and I thought that's what cracked it. Had no idea it was because of the smoke buildup on it. Went to clean it, that's when I noticed the crack. So I believe that's how it went. So ended up in January purchasing this bad boy. And this one, I absolutely love this laser module. It's got a nice fan that's built in it, and it does blow down. It also has the hose that you can also put your air pump to it, your air assist. So it does have that built in it too, but I paid a little bit more than that for it. Probably was closer to this. But that thing was like way, way better than the 5 watt was. Used that for a long time. Started really getting into this, started watching a lot of videos, and then decided that it was time to get something a little bit bigger. That's when I went ahead and I jumped in and bought, where is it? Right here. Bought the Burnlab 20 watt laser engraver machine. The 20 watt, and when did I buy that? June 24th, 2023. So a few months later, quite a few months later after that, I went ahead and I stepped up and got the 20 watt. You can see I had to buy the replacement lenses. Knew about that at this point. Started buying them there. They were quite a bit of money. So I decided to get a pack of 4 or 5, whatever they were, I think it was, from Vinatori's workshop. He makes them and sells them, and you can buy them from him. And that's what I've been doing. So, and now that I have the knowledge of it, I keep my nozzle heads clean, my laser lens clean, I don't really have too much of a problem with it. They don't usually crack, or maybe his are just that much better. I don't know, but they just don't. I haven't changed but one of them. I think it was maybe two in quite a while. So give him a shout, give him a look out, and check it out if you are looking for lenses. He does just about any kind of lens you need. So bought the 20-watt Burnlab and been loving it ever since. Now, to me, when I bought the Ortur, I also told you I bought the extenders for it. I made it deeper and longer, or just longer, not deeper. Bought those for it. I think I paid like $60 for those, I think it was, and it turned it into a 31-inch long machine. So I can do a lot of nice 31 inches by whatever, 15, 16 inches, whatever it is. So you can do a nice long piece of wood with it. And I also went ahead with the Burnlab and also purchased the same thing. I got the same extenders, so I can make that thing as long as I could. I made another 31 and a half inches, whatever it actually is. So what did I pay for the Burnlab? I think it was $4 something. So they don't sell it anymore, so I can't go back in and look at it, but I believe it was $400 at $350, $400, something like that. So to me it was worth it, and I know it was like about a 16 by 16, so I got it now, 31 inches by, let's say, almost 16. So it's a much better machine now. But even though that being said, that's let's say 400. We'll kind of go in the middle of 400, and then $100 for the longer rails for it. I'm at $500, and I'm fine with that. Open gantry, not a problem with it. You got your glasses, you're good. Keep everyone else out of your shed when you're working, out of your shop. If they do come in, let them know, put these glasses on before they come in, so they're good. They're protected. And I look at all these other machines, and I look at all these other channels, and I just don't get. I mean, I understand they're getting these machines given to them, and that's awesome for them. Like I said, I can't wait till I get those opportunities. Well, you can get some of these machines right here. This is a 20 watt for $400. I don't know, longer rays, pretty decent from what I hear. You hear a lot of people talk about it. Laser Tree was something you heard a lot of people talk about at one point, longer, or Ortur. So you hear a lot of these people talk about these things, but then you look at this price, $1,800. That's a fiber laser. So that's totally different, but let's not look at that one. That's a fiber laser. I don't know why they would put that in with all these, but anyway, you just look at the prices of all these things. There's a 10 watt that's enclosed for $500. You pay $500. That's a 10 watt. You can get a 20 watt. You can probably get a 30 watt for that price, an open gantry one. So I wouldn't pay that price, and the bed on that's not going to be very big. And you cannot extend that to make it any bigger. It is what it is. I wouldn't pay $500 for that. Not if I'm trying to get started or see what I can do. Let's keep going up a little bit. What are these guys here? Laser engraver, 20 watt. Look at this, $1,000 for this little tiny thing. $1,000 for that little teeny tiny thing. No, thank you. Oh, look at this here, 40 watt. $2,500 for that 40 watt. It's got a good bed size to it. It's 23, almost 24 inches by 16 inches. So that 15 inch wide is pretty good. 23 going long, that's not too bad. I like my 31 inches, but I mean, you can get away with that. But look at that price, $2,500 for that. Look at this little guy here, $1,100. So no, thank you. I can go get a $399 Atom Stack, go on their website, or even in Amazon, and I can even go in there and add the extended rails for that as well, for another $100. So you're looking at $400 or $500 compared to $2,500. That's crazy. But you go through all these things here. Same one right there. There's $1,000 for that one there. Crowdy Falcon, 20 watt, $1,000 compared to 20 watt, $399, and you can build yourself enclosure like Clack Shack did. You know, he's got the Godzilla one, whatever the hell he calls his one. But that's, you know, that's there. So I don't know. Just to me, prices are expensive, are crazy, and to me, you get yourself an open gantry, because that's what I can afford. I don't have these companies giving me these machines, so I get what I can afford, and I make them work. So almost 16 by 31 inches, almost 16 by 16 inches. It is going to be eventually, it's going to be the 31 inches by 23 inches, I think is what it's going to be. So it's going to take up that whole area right there. But if you watch that video I did, it was on the grill boards and the cutting board. If you haven't seen it, you need to go check it out. It was a good video. A lot of good stuff on it. But that's going to be able to make it to where instead of having to cut that board in half, I can cut the whole thing out and run with it. So to me, you get a laser machine and you get the CNC machine. You got the best of both worlds. You didn't pay what I paid for all these here. Was cheaper than what it was to be able to pay for that one $2,500 machine. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So much cheaper, and I have the best of both worlds now. And all said and done, with the rails that are going to be extended, I'm going to be able to work on some really nice stuff out here. This machine does really well. This machine does really well. You see some of the projects that I have done. You know, making things. I showed you the other one, the Welcome Fall. You know, some of the things that I have done just came out really, really nice stuff. So with that guy there, I mean, look at that catch-all tray. That came out really nice. Little template one I did, a small one that I did, just trying out, just messing around, seeing what you know, trying to get it for a subscriber of mine. Making all kinds of things. Most 90% of my stuff has all been sold, but I do have a couple things. So you make some really, really nice stuff. Don't want to go too far ahead here. I did. This came with the Burnlab. Remember, I showed you the other one that I did buy. This one came with the Burnlab. This one it's a metal frame, so it will hold, and inside's metal. It will hold magnets. I recommend for sure. As you can see, it's dirty. Don't judge me. I do need to clean it. Probably do a video on that, so we can go over that. But I definitely recommend magnets and have a steel metal frame and honeycomb. It is definitely nice to have. I think that's it. Let me just check a couple things here, but you kind of saw on Amazon the things that I had bought and the things I had purchased, where I do get my stuff. Caliber is real important to have. The Reno, you saw, you know, what I paid for that. 3018, forget it. Don't waste your money. I started out with it, got rid of it, went to lasers, went back to CNC. So now I have the best of both worlds. Reno, I am not a paid sponsor of them, not yet. This is just what I know with the machine, working for a year and a half with it. So, it's a real decent machine. Yeah, it's a beginner end machine, but you can do some advanced things with it, some really nice things with it. So, I definitely would recommend the Reno. What I'm going to have for the Reno and the extender kits, I'm going to be cheaper than if I would have went to the next level up, which was the 4040 Pro. Jimitsu 4040 Pro. Belt driven, don't be scared of it. It's fine. It works fine. It works better than fine. You just got to be aware of your belts, your tension on your belts. Um, my dust extractor there is old, it's beat, it's taped, it's been around for a minute, but it does work very well. That's my dust extractor. All I do is I pull my hose over when I'm working and get that dust out. And when I'm doing my CNC, I also put it here to help get some of that fine dust sucked out. So that's my dust extractor. You definitely have to have a dust extractor. You definitely have to have the honeycomb. You definitely have to have that metal that's underneath your honeycomb right here, so you're not burning up your desktop, your work thing that you have working. So you do have to have that. I think that's it though. That's kind of what I wanted to go over with you. Was my machines, the things I bought for the machines, and what I think of my machines. And it'd be nice to have what these other guys have, but I don't. So I can't preach for what I don't know, but I do know these machines work, and they're working very well. This machine I've had, you saw for whatever, a while now. The Ortur I've had since 2022. Still going strong. Still does awesome. Laser module still the same as when I showed you when I bought it. Lenses, keep them clean. The air that comes through that does real well. I think that modular is 199. I think is what it is yet. It's what it's at now. So it's still a decent 10-watt laser. And you also get the board that goes on the back of it to be able to fire and use with that machine. Because that's a 5-watt up to the 10-watt, so it is a different circuit board for it. I appreciate you guys. Showed you all my tools, my bits. Get some out of this, drop me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or anything you want to see have done, go ahead and drop me a note. Let me know what you're thinking. And don't forget, I have that Ko-Fi site out there. You can get into it from underneath my main page, right underneath my subscription, the description there. You'll see where it shows, and also underneath this video, you'll see if you click the 3 dots more, the more and 3 dots, so you'll see it'll drop down. I'll have it in there too. You can go check that. I have a couple 3 files in there right now. You can give me a tip if you like what you have. I appreciate you all. Subscribe, click it. I'm growing, but I need more. Click it. Thank you all. Stay safe. Till next one. I'm Bill, and I'm out.